Welcome to our tutorial. We're going to show you how to set up and start up the Sentient Element. Plus, we're going to show you different ways you can position the coil during a PEMF session. Let's get started. When you receive the Sentient Element, you're going to pull it out of the box and you will find 4 things included, namely the power cord, the audio cable, the coil with the bag, and the Sentient Element device. It will not include the iPad or other source device, a frequency generating app or program. To begin setting it up, we plug the power cable into a house outlet. The other end of the power cable will plug into the Sentient Element. Make sure to plug it in off position. As you noticed, when it was plugged in, the red light came on. This is a good indicator that it's getting power. Now let's turn the machine on. 2 things are going to happen. The fan and blue LED lights will come on, and the amp meter will light up. We are making another video that will explain in detail how these meters work. Now that your machine is plugged in and on, we're going to show you how the rest of the setup is done. You're going to plug in the audio cable into the Sentient Element, and the other end of the cable will be plugged into your audio device. An audio device can be anything, such as a computer, iPad, iPhone, Android, or MP3 player, anything that can play a frequency. Then you're going to grab the plug coming off the coil and plug that into the Sentient Element. There's a couple of things to keep in mind when plugging in the coils. With the one coil system, keep in off position and only plug into the left socket. An important thing to remember when plugging in the coil is that the coil plug is twisted from a 10 o'clock position to a 12 o'clock position. This will lock the plug into place. Also, when doing a 2-coil system, make sure to turn on the second coil. Now let's start using the coil with the Sentient Element. I'll go through different positions you can put the coil. But first we're going to turn on the frequency we want to use. This is only an example of how to play frequencies from your audio devices. This is the app I downloaded on my iPad. It's called Function Generator. It was only $2 for the Pro version, so I got Function Generator Pro, and it's really nice because I can play multiple frequencies at one time. I'll just show you real quick how to play a frequency off this Function Generator. So on the top, near the play button, it says square wave, and underneath that it says 20 Hertz, and underneath that it says amplitude, and that's basically your power or volume. And underneath that is your frequency. And you can scroll that up and down and change the frequency pretty easily. But you can see here that I typed in 20 Hertz. And then you can also change your sine wave, square wave, triangle wave, or sawtooth wave. The rule is square wave is the most effective. And then underneath that, I have another option to play another frequency. Again, I have square wave. I have 306 Hertz, and the amplitude is around 53%. Near the bottom it says master volume, and this is an important function to recognize because if it's at 0, there will be no frequency or output going into the Sentient Element or even out of your device. Now we're set. I'm going to push play for both frequencies. If your audio cable is plugged into your device, you will not hear these sounds. But it's a good way to test and see if the frequencies are actually playing from your device. Please remember that when you do a PEMF session, that you put all electronics 2 to 3 feet away from the coil. Now I'll show you different positions you can put the coil. All these positions are safe, and it's most effective when you get the coil as close as possible or near the areas that you're having issues. So here I'm only demonstrating how and where you can put the coil. You're not going to do it this quickly. For a whole session, it might just be on your knee because that's where you're having issues. Or maybe you want it on your feet for the whole 30 minutes. Or maybe you want to do 5 minutes on your head, 5 minutes on your chest, 5 minutes on your stomach area. Our disclaimer is that we're not doctors. We don't prescribe or diagnose. We recommend that you do your research. There is so much information about PEMF therapy, the frequencies that you can use, how long you should use them, where to use them. There's a lot of forums on the internet that you can join. There's a lot of people that have experimented with this therapy, and they have made public their knowledge of how it's worked for them. As you probably already noticed, I went from using one coil and positioning that around my body to using 2 coils, and now I'm positioning these 2 coils in different ways, just showing examples of how and where to put them during the PEMF session. I just wanted to take a little time into thanking you so much for your support and or purchasing the Sentient Element. If it wasn't for you, this would not be possible. Now we're going to go into shutting down the machine. We're going to put the coils away. We're going to unplug the devices and unplug the coils as well. We're going to keep the machine on just for 15 to 20 minutes so that the electronics inside will be able to cool down properly. We are working on more instructional videos, so we're excited about uploading those, getting those finished, and getting them out to you. And we thank you so much for your patience and hope that you enjoyed this video.